again, and welcome to another episode of Harebrained Games. I'm going to take a break from this particular chapter where we're talking about certain games that are great for Christmas. In our last episode, we talked about some great family games that I think people would really enjoy and that could get some value out of for the holidays. One of many lists I've seen pop up on the internet, but I hope that you found mine was at least somewhat helpful to some of you who are able to get some ideas for your friends. Now, I'm going to take a little break on that because I want to talk about two things. First off, I want to talk about thankfulness, and I have much to be thankful for this year. By the grace of God, I've had great employment, I have great friends, I've got a great family. These are wonderful things, and sometimes things happen in your life, ups and downs, but things happen that just really crystallize the value of being thankful and reflecting the generosity of others. First off, I'd like to thank, and the first thing, is a friend of mine, Jason Robar, who commented on the last episode. Now, he gave a couple tips, and I wanted to actually talk about that. In the last episode, I talked about a game called Splendor, which is a great, fantastic game for 2 to 4 players, very easy to pick up and play, no problem at all. He reminded me that there's an excellent iPad version out right now. In fact, I don't even know why I failed to mention it. My wife has been addicted to it for months now. Literally, it's something she plays 2 or 3 times a night before she heads to bed. It's fantastic. It doesn't have multiplayer, if that's of interest to you. But for those who just want a good challenge, you can't do better than this. For $7, you're getting a steal of a deal. So if you haven't checked it out and you have an iPad, definitely do so. For one thing, it'll introduce you to the game if you don't have it. Second off, you're going to get your play value if you like it even somewhat. It's just, words don't describe how great it is and what a great job they did. But I want to talk about Jason Robar, and I want to also explain kind of who he is and the value that he's been to me. Now, I started my board gaming life many years ago with a few games here and there, and Carcassonne and Settlers of Catan, Axis and Allies through the years, but there really wasn't any sort of impact moment that said, hey, this is great, this is a really great idea to get back into this. I'm a video game developer, been so for 20 years now, and I enjoy video games, duh. But there's something about face-to-face time. There's something about gathering people around and playing with them, that human element that's you just can't get at LAN parties of the past or MMOs of today. So about 10 years ago, Jason Robar introduced me to a game called Balloon Cup. Balloon Cup was a simple little game from Europe. Okay, I don't know if it was from Europe, but by a designer who I took home one day from work and played with my wife, and it was entertaining. It wasn't just entertaining in the roll your dice, move your mice, nobody gets hurt kind of thing, but in fact it was very compelling and a thinking game, not incredibly deep, but a thinking game. That was the spark that just got me going, oh, board games. And for the last 10 years I have been absolutely an advocate for board games. Avid reader of BoardGameGeek.com, which is pretty much the board game place. But I want to thank Jason Robar for opening me up to this wonderful world of gaming, not only just because it's games, but because of what it means, which is an opportunity for people to spend time with their families and to really play games for just for the challenge and the joy and the excitement and the newness, and just to open yourself up to a wide range of really great experiences from really great designers. A lot of people don't realize that a board game doesn't just come to fruition in a day or two. There are stories of that happening, some anecdotal, some not. But in general, games take years. They literally do take years. It's not chump change as far as the investment that it takes, and it's not a get-rich scheme because it just doesn't happen. I also want to thank Jason Robar particularly because he was one of the first people to really give me a shot back in the games industry after taking a hiatus. This is a man that I have absolutely the greatest respect for, who built companies always with the passion not only to make great games, but to make the lives of the people he employed great. And I have never forgotten, what he has done for me. Not once, but twice. To give me opportunities when I didn't have opportunities as the game industry ebbs and flows. Anybody who's in it understands that. So it was Jason Robar that really showed me the value of balance, of working hard and playing hard. My kids still remember his renowned Christmas parties. If I could compare him to anyone in history, it would probably be Fezziwig. My favorite story, other than the Bible, is A Christmas Carol. I read it every year. I watch every episode, every variation you can think of. And the thing that I always loved about Fezziwig was he was a hard worker. But when it was time to play, you played. And I really always enjoyed that character in it because it meant he had a work ethic, and it meant something, and he was a driven businessman. But then it was time to play. It was time for family. It was time for joy. It was time for merriment. And that's the kind of thing that I learned from Jason Robar. He is by far one of the greatest bosses I have ever known. And so while this is not exactly meant to be a tribute to him, I think it's important in our lives that when we see people who have had an impact like that we don't let it pass by to thank them and appreciate them. And I know that Jason is somewhere in Germany right now, probably helping gamers and board gamers and whoever else he can. He is the eternal optimist and has always been nothing but the greatest boss and the greatest fan. And for that I am very thankful. And I say thank you, Jason. It's good to get in touch with you again. And thank you for that tip on Splendor. That was one. Now we have a second thanks. Folks who don't normally go to BoardGameGeek.com probably don't understand the community that it has fostered. I mean, this is a vast community of people, and if you are in any way interested in getting more than just scantily into board games, this is the place that's probably the epicenter of your gaming resource. You will find everything you need on Board Game Geek. It is very rare not to have a host of people to help you with rules questions, to give reviews, to do videos like you're seeing here. It is the place. Every year, there is a Secret Santa, and as it has grown over the years, literally thousands of people from all over the world get together to do a Santa exchange. The rules are simple. In November, everybody gets chosen, someone gets assigned a target, and you buy a game for them, add shipping, and it needs to be around $50 or so. And I have done this for about 6 or 7 years now. Now, I've always been blessed. I have never had someone not send me a game. It has always been a great blessing, and I've enjoyed blessing others as well, insofar as I could. Each year a little bit different financially as far as how much over the top can be done. Some Santas were quiet. Some of them liked to give me hints. Some of them would send secret messages just to hype it up and make it just a fun experience, which is really just as valuable as the gift in my mind. This year was over the top. This year I had the best Secret Santa ever, and that says a lot because I've had great ones in the past. One time I got two hugely expensive games at a time when it was just really rough Christmas. Really rough. And these games, while not of themselves any sort of savior, were really so meaningful to me because I got them from someone who didn't have to spend even a quarter of that to meet the requirements, and yet still found themselves giving. That giving spirit means so much. Scripture says we'll know we are Christians by our love, and if you haven't guessed, I am a Christian. I take it seriously and meaningfully. And that doesn't mean that other people who might not embrace the faith are also not capable of generating just a phenomenal level of compassion and empathy and a giving heart, and that is always to be appreciated and thanked. With that, this year, I got way more than I expected. What did I get? Seven Wonders Duel. I love Seven Wonders. I do. It's beautiful. 7 people can play it in about the same amount of time as 2. There are very few games that allow that. Most of the time you get 7 people playing and you either find a second game to play in the middle of it or you waste your cell phone time. This game is great. It's 2-player only. And it's meant to be 2-player only because Seven Wonders with 2 players, the board game that this is based on, not my favorite 2 players. You need at least 4. This, awesome game. Takes everything about Seven Wonders, which if you don't know about it, you won't care, but I care. It's great. It's probably about $15-20 right now, and worth every penny. I plan to play this for many, many years. When I can't find a group to play Seven Wonders. Really cool. Wasn't that nice of my Secret Santa? I could stop there and be just happy, because I got a gift. But that's not all Santa brought me. Santa brought me 8-Minute Empire Legends. A sequel to the 8-Minute Empire, plays like the original. What is the original? I guess we'll find out. I haven't opened this one yet, because when I had a Secret Santa this benevolent and generous, I decided I wanted to pace myself. I did not want to just dive in a big explosion of thrill and just rip it all up. I'm actually taking my time, and every couple days I'm opening a new one, and I'm trying it out, because if Secret Santa cared enough to send this to me, as well as Seven Wonders Duel, yeah, I'm going to take it seriously, and I'm going to be grateful. 8-Minute Empires, you may see a review of this later. Oh, thank you, Secret Santa. I appreciate it. And I want to... Oh, but that's not all Secret Santa gave me. Isle of Skye! Yay! You like Carcassonne? I like Carcassonne. Do you like tile-laying games? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I like tile-laying games. Isle of Skye is the latest and greatest, cool, kind of like Carcassonne, but not really, game where you're building your own little island and getting points for it. It actually reminds me a little bit of Glenmore, with a Carcassonne tile-laying element in some ways. Just a tad. But this is yet another gift from my Secret Santa. If that isn't cool, I don't know what is. I mean, this is way above and beyond. And I hope when I link this at Board Game Geek, that my Secret Santa can see and just understand how much I appreciate what Secret Santa did. Whoever you are, wherever you are, this made an impact this Christmas. And generosity like this is a simple written thank you is not enough. You need to be given a tribute for your generosity, especially the way that you handled it with the wonderful Christmas hints and the communication and the riddles. Really cool. I mean, you're the best Secret Santa. Sorry, everyone else, you are. So that's... but that's not all. Secret Santa didn't stop at these 3. Secret Santa went way and beyond. And guess what Secret Santa gave me? Also, 5 tribes. This is not a small game. This is a well-produced, fancy game that I have been excited to play for quite some time. It's a kind of a retheming of Mancala, kinda, but not really. It's actually really, really cool in a bunch of different ways. I actually did open this one. What can I say? I'm not completely filled with willpower, but this is an awesome, awesome game. Plays great with 2, 3, 4. I think that's what it's maxed at. But can you imagine 5 tribes? Secret Santa, Isle of Skye, Secret Santa, Duel, Secret Santa, 8-Minute Empires, Secret Santa. That's cool. So, while we're going to get back to our reviews of games, I just want to show benevolence. And I just want to show that this Christmas season, when we all kind of reflect and introspect on things we're grateful for, I mean, obviously, there's the general. I'm thankful for Jesus Christ. I'm thankful for my family. I'm thankful for having a job at a time when life goes up and down. I'm thankful for health. But this benevolence, from the 10 years of board gaming that I've gotten thanks to a great man like Jason Robar, to this abundant generosity from my Secret Santa, honestly, my Christmas is complete, and it's even 2 weeks before it actually happens. So if you have an opportunity out there, I know I'm going to be thinking a little bit about how I can be benefiting and showing kindness and generosity to others too. I've already got kind of a few ideas in my head. Normally I try to think of things like, I think we all do look for ways to really just show gratitude and kindness in the season. But this time, this really just kind of cemented in my mind the need to take it up a notch and show the same kind of outpouring of kindness that my Secret Santa did for me. So, thank you for listening to Harebrained Games. I hope that while this didn't exactly act as an informational conduit, at least it kind of helped maybe pique your brain on, some great games that my Secret Santa has given to me that I'm enjoying, and also, to get ready for a Merry Christmas, because I'm sure going to have one now. Thanks everyone for listening to Harebrained Games, and we will talk to you later.